Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and for make up what I seen to. Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the price. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
on bended knees to Israel, with hands stretched out to America, was pretty much the representation Jamaica got from Andrew Holness at the United Nations. While under the same breath, the Prime Minister was beefing up his attack on global gangs and on climate change. One might ask, with what resources? The same one that you're at the United Nations begging or soliciting while you're beefing up your global attack on gangs on your climate change agenda? Good morning and welcome to Global TV. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hold on. Let me see what happened to my slide. Oh, I've got it in the wrong slot. Sorry about that. No, let me fix this back quickly. Hold on. Let me fix this how it ought to be. Yes. Oh, why? Bear with me. Globalist, bear with me. Right. So digital ID is a thing that most of us, for the foregoing, will have to contend with from our leaders, whichever country we are in, because it is the global 2030 agenda. I do believe Andrew Holness, he's continuing to make the push, even though, like Andrew Holness did, we are experiencing the same thing in Britain now, where they're pushing that digital ID mandatory. They are making it mandatory. So that is something that you ought to be aware of on how our leaders will be pushing it for the foregoing. Morning and welcome, everybody. How I do to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning. How I do? Morning and welcome, Debbie Jarvis TV. Good morning. Good morning. Who else is there here? Sharon Bernard. Good morning. Lawrence Michaels. Good morning. Good morning. Barbara Simpson. Yvette Burrell. Charlotte. Graham. Sophia Hall. Morning, Joan Pine, Julie Roberts, Pamela Acola, Miranda Roddock. Good morning, Elga Fletcher, Delroy Henry, Norman Ferguson. Good morning, Mr. Cool and Deadly. Good morning. Good morning. Who else is here? Not Sharon Bernard. Karen Nemard. Why am I so confused this morning? Shani, Colleen. Good morning. TikTok, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Debbie Jervis, Debbie and Duncan, Synergy, God bless, Max Romeo. Is it Vivalyn Jones, New Green Motor Sales Limited? Can I call this name? Is it E? Let me just say cool. Thank you for joining us. D, thank you for joining us. Right. You and digital ID and your leaders. This is a push we have to gear up for the future. We have already seen where... Oh, what have I done here now? Lord of mercy. Your browser has lost connection to the camera. Oh, dear, oh dear. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me, globalists, please. Oh, what is happening to me this morning? Globalists, please bear with me. Let me get this sorted. And as soon as we sort it, we'll be back and chat. Just bear with me while I fix my malfunctions in the background. You can hear me. Me no know what happened to me this morning, Mr. Cool and Deadly. You can hear me now. You can hear me well, can't you? Right. Let's get on with it. Now, digital ID is a thing where we have to, Gloria Morris, morning, gear up for. We saw where Andrew Holness tried it mandatorily, albeit he was slapped back by the courts. However, we see where he's coercing people, he's continuing the push because it's a part of the 2030 agenda. And a lot of these governments are going to push this mechanism on us. Right now, it's our turn in Britain where this thing is being pushed on us by the current government with an almighty force, the Labour government. So it is not something that we should greet lightly, because it's not just one country that we're going to have this experience. It's going to be pushed on a global level. Are the people of Jamaica prepared for Andrew Holness? I'm just trying to log in one of my other email thingy. One of my thingy is full and I'm not getting my video. Never mind. We can use that video later. So the problem is Jamaica prepared for Andrew Holness' push for the 2030 agenda? I also spoke to you about reading the document, the Pact for the Future, that document which they adopted in the United Nations last year. Was it last year or no? It was last year. They adopted that document in the United Nations. That document is the document all governments will lead by, especially in a pandemic series. And these digital ID works within a pandemic and the vax and all of those things. Right now, the fight, the push is here. The fight has started. We haven't got an actual case in the court yet, but a lot of the civil liberties group in the United Kingdom are making it quite clear that this is not something that we're prepared to accept. The British public also, what we can expect from them is an almighty pushback, just like when the Terrorism Act after 9/11, the Terrorism Act was very draconian, And there was fight and fight until there's a level of it was rolled back. But this same terrorism act in the United Kingdom at the moment, and this is why you must listen to Andrew Holness carefully when he goes on about terrorism and when he link gangs to terrorism, because it's one of the new ways of control for the future. The terrorism act in the United Kingdom at the moment is used to suppress everything that you would stand for morally. You cannot support Palestine. You cannot speak out about certain aspects of the government. Free speech, freedom of movement is under attack using the terrorism law in this country. Even our very own famous politician, George Galloway, was arrested. Him and his wife was detained under the Terrorism Act just a few days ago. And it's mainly to do with his, not mainly, it's purely to do with his journalism activity and his constant fight against oppression, especially on the issue of Palestine, because there's a huge shutting down of free speech in this country when it comes to the whole Gaza issue using the Terrorism Act. And now we see digital ID is coming, what they are linking it to, because they want to include everybody in it. One of the issues with the Terrorism Act in this country is it zoomed in on a particular race or a particular group of people, and that was one of the big fights in front of the courts, because it didn't include the what you would call the normal British public when it comes to what the Terrorism Act wanted to achieve. And there was a lot of court fights until that was changed. How they're doing the digital ID now in the United Kingdom, they are linking it to employment, because they have already linked it to your indefinite leave to remain, or what you would call your American green card. They have already linked it to that. But to draw in the entire population, what they've done is they've linked it to employment. You will need to have a digital ID to gain employment. So that widens the net to even the British populace, because they've secured a way already to push it on to the migrant community. Is either you accept the digital ID rolled out of the Home Office, or you're Tanya illegal, or you're going on your yard. So they've captured that wide audience already. But when you pushed it on for employment reasons, then you're capturing the British public there with their birthright. Those are the people you are capturing in the digital ID net. And that is where the big fight and the big push is going to come. Because when the British public would have accepted it for the migrant community, the British public is not going to, the what you call the indigenous British, if there's such a thing, is not going to accept it, because that will be curtailing their rights. So there's a gear up for an almighty push against that. Now, was the PNP planning on digital ID as well? There is something of that sort in their manifesto because governments are being directed out of their spheres. They've been directed by the people in dark suit and dark glasses. So all of them will try to push it to you. Some might do it subtly, some might do it with brute force. But this is something we must keep our eyes on in the next 5 years, because Andrew Holness' term, if he managed to finish it, will lead us into the 2030 agenda. Remember, the all of them already ratify the Pact for the future. So therefore, them have to carry out the agenda. They have to carry out the agenda of their masters because they have already signed up to the document. So, as I was telling you all before the election, you really don't want to have Andrew Holness leading us into the 2030 agenda. Reason? We have the experience of how dictatorial and draconian Andrew Holness can be during the COVID era. That was a prime example. If you understand where the world is going, how power is changing, if you understand the transition phase that the world is in, the world is now tilting from global north to global south. This is reaping a lot of havoc and all across the place because people are losing control and people are gaining control. We, the little minions and beggy like what we see the Prime Minister was doing at the United Nations, we who are on our knees and refuse to stand on our feet, we with a population who is socially and politically uneducated, socially and politically uneducated, we are not aware of what's to come. So certain things, when they get pushed on, a lot of people are going to be out of their depth because you're not focusing on where the world is going. You're not focusing on the subliminal messaging coming from our Prime Minister, like his global war and gangs and all of these things. Because the global war and gangs, linking it to terrorism, these are how government can use emergency powers to curtail your rights. So this is something you have to be aware of. So the digital ID, one must take it serious and keep an eye on it. It's going to be pushed on us, whether we want it or not. How do we escape it? We can by uniting as people around the world globally. We have social media that brings us closer together. In the time of Marcus Garvey, the ledger of information and information sharing Garvey never have that we have now. So if we want to sit down and waste time and make time catch up on we, and then when things start fall apart around me, we're out of our depth, we need to be careful of where all of this is going. Now to Cash Patel. To Cash Patel. Because you see, in the West, if you live in the West, you would understand that one of the most dangerous things to the migrant community, or the migrant community, I would say, is give power to whether it be Black people or Indian people in the colonial master playpen, because they tend to go harder. They tend to go harder than their very own slave masters. This is the video I want to bring to you before we move on, because we are about to get our own Donald Trump in Britain as well. And this is partly because of Keir Starmer and the Labour Party dismal leadership in this country.
Nigel Farage.
Because of their dismal leadership in this country, a Donald Trump style politician is on the rise in the United Kingdom. One who's set to possibly become the next Prime Minister of Britain after the next general election, which he vowed to send all of us with indefinite home. So you can look for all these people,
Nigel Farage,
and their children and all the way coming back home. But listen to David Lammy. He is the Foreign Secretary. And also listen to the Home Secretary. Is an Indian woman. This very woman was the same woman who ordered the detention of white Scottish British George Galloway just a couple days ago. It was the same behavior with Priti Patel and what's the other one, when they were at the Home Office as people who derived from the migrant community. They carried out some dangerous assault on the migrant community once they have been given a place in master's bedroom. But let's listen to this British journalist, Femi, on the hypocrisy of what is going on in this country at the moment. Then we'll come right back home to Jamaica.
We must call his scheme to round up and deport our French, our Indian, our Caribbean neighbors who already have indefinite leave to remain what it is. It is racist.
It's day two of this Labour government's party conference, and they are still shitting the bed. Remember yesterday when I said that Keir Starmer should not have said that the Reform Party's policy of scrapping indefinite leave to remain was racist? And I know that some of the comments I received basically said, Femi, this is what's wrong with you left-wing lunatics. Nothing's ever good enough for you. Well, this is precisely why. Because David Lammy is Labour's Deputy Prime Minister, and he just said that the Reform Party was being racist to French people. That's why yesterday I said, every time that a politician or a journalist calls something racist without backing it up with the facts that prove that the thing that they're calling racist is actually going to disproportionately hurt ethnic minorities, they weaken the fight against racism. And now Labour is going to have to defend the notion that French people are a persecuted race. All while giving the people who say, well, they call anything racist these days, infinite ammo for the rest of their lives. Like I said, making the fight against racism even harder. And you can argue that at least it's good that Labour's finally taking a stand against the rising tide of racism, but who is their audience? Who are they doing this for? Because if it's just about saying stuff that lefties like to hear, then this is just political point scoring. But if it's supposed to convince your average person who Nigel Farage might be trying to go after, then it's not going to work. Because you've just made it easier for those on the right to convince people that those of us who fight against racism are lunatics because we somehow think that French people are a persecuted race. And this is what pisses me off about Labour, because they clearly recognize the problem, but their solutions are all wrong. For example, the new Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, the start of her speech gave me so much hope. I was like, finally, somebody who gets it.
150,000 people marched through London. They did so under the banner of a convicted criminal and a former BNP member. It would be easy to dismiss this as nothing but an angry minority, heirs to the skinheads and the Paki bashers of old. And make no mistake, some were. Patriotism, a force for good, is turning into something smaller, something more like ethno-nationalism, which struggles to accept that someone who looks like me and has a faith like mine can truly be English or British. There are some who we will never be able to persuade, but there are others, a growing number, who are on a path from patriotism towards ethno-nationalism. And this can be stopped. But to do so, we have to understand why so many people feel this country is not working for them.
Up to right there? Perfect. You have perfectly identified the rise of the far right in the UK. You said that it's born out of political frustration. All great. Now, what are the solutions you're pointing to?
People feel like things are spinning out of control. And without control, we simply do not have the conditions in which our country can be open, tolerant, and generous. When people see small boats arriving on our shores, they see a country that has lost control.
You can dress it up however you like, but you're still pointing to the idea that you can solve everybody's problems by simply getting rid of foreigners. And it's funny because in David Lammy's speech, he does actually argue that the proper Labour response to times like these is not to lean into bigotry, but to push for equality.
In 1967, the ugly rise of Enoch Powell. Did Wilson retreat? No. He championed the white heat of technology, the open university, the Equal Pay Act.
All while standing behind a guy who steals quotes from Enoch Powell's racist speeches. And let me give you an anecdote so you understand why I'm so pissed off here. During the referendum, David Cameron was facing a country that was going through a massive cost of living crisis as well. But that cost of living crisis was based on his policies around austerity. So after the financial crash, basically financially strangling the whole country to save money. And so while you had people like Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson saying, hey, all of you, you're all poor because of the EU stealing our money. What I would argue was the main reason that David Cameron lost that referendum was because he couldn't then turn around and say, hey, you're not poor because of the EU, you're poor because I made you poorer. He prioritized his own reputation of what was actually necessary for the people of the UK. And the same thing is happening here. Because Labour should be addressing people's real problems by taxing the rich, doing a wealth tax, undoing Brexit properly, because that is the biggest drain on our economy right now, costing the average household £1,000 a year, but they're refusing to do that because they're scared of the Daily Mail. And so instead, what are the solutions they can point to that won't get them in trouble with the Daily Mail? Getting rid of migrants. Once again, Labour is too scared to be progressive, and therefore they're leaning into the far right. And I'm not saying that anything that's strict on immigration is automatically far right, but when you push the idea that hostility towards foreigners and migrants is the only possible option to fix the country, far right politics becomes the only possible destination. And the Home Secretary goes on.
We will soon increase the time in which someone must have lived in this country to earn indefinite leave to remain from 5 years to 10. I will be proposing a series of new tests that you have truly given back to your community, such as by volunteering your time to a local cause.
Look, despite what the right would have you believe, being left-wing doesn't automatically mean that you support high levels of immigration. I don't have some ideological attachment to high levels of immigration. I just want to make sure that when people come here, they are treated properly. And so I am very curious to know if the plans to make it so that you have to be here for 10 years rather than 5 years in order to get indefinite leave to remain are going to apply to people that have already been here for ages. Because if this government is about to make it so that somebody who has been here for 4 years, expecting that after 5 years they can finally permanently reside here, is about to be told that they have to wait another 6 years, then fuck you. Because like I said, whatever hoops you want to make it so that people have to jump through in order to come and live here, that's fine. It's your own problem. If you want to damage the economy by making us less attractive to people that we need to come and work in our economy, that's up to you. But suddenly changing the rules on people who have spent years trying to build life here is demonic shit. You do not beat the far right by becoming the far right.
Nigel Farage. We must call his scheme.
You may ask, why am I bringing this information to you? The world is a spider's web. You pull one string in the spider's web and the entire thing is affected. Now, this is the mother of Tupac Shakur, who has just recently died. And the FBI director in America, that Indian boy there, who we have fought the Civil War in America, for civil rights in America, rather, to make sure that he can become the director of the FBI in Trump's administration, is turning around and telling us not to mourn the death of Miss Shakur. We who fought for them to get those positions, he's telling us not to mourn the death of Tupac's mother. Isn't this disgraceful? This is why, Mr. When you give jobs to these people, this is what you end up with. Now, the case between Dr. Roger Hunter and Carl Bruce is Carl Bruce and him legal team said they are not ready yet. I wonder why Carl Bruce, at them, I take lawsuit, at them I take a case against Dr. Roger Hunter, and them don't ready yet. You would have thought you would take the case forward. You would have all your battleground information ready. But remember, Jamaica, to date, nobody in public life has addressed what Dr. Roger Hunter said. Nobody has still addressed it, even though Dr. Roger Hunter is being persecuted. Even though Dr. Roger Hunter is being persecuted by the medical fraternity, by this government, and by his colleagues, they are still not ready to go ahead with their persecution. Now, for those of you who, if you weren't here last night, you would have, if you have not heard, Mark Golding has put out his shadow cabinet, quite a cabinet to observe. People placed in strategic positions that we expect them to carry out great performance in. This was Andrew Holness begging at the United Nations for his climate change agenda, as well as his begging for money for his war on gangs as well. don't know how far the Prime Minister will get with this issue. Honestly, don't know how far he will get with it, because he has grandiose ideas, but the Prime Minister is yet to tell us how he will be putting those ideas in practice, how he will be funding these ideas. I guess he won't be able to, because that was, sorry, his grandmother, yes, because that was the Prime Minister don't have 2 cents to rockle with one another other than to pay his big executive. So the Prime Minister is still talking tough on climate change, talking tough on war and gangs. As you saw where the Gleaner editorial is saying Andrew Holness is possible giving a green light to Donald Trump, which is quite a serious thing, which is very much quiet in the Jamaican spheres. Very quiet. It's a very, very, it's a very quiet thing where our fishermen in Caribbean waters, our Caribbean fishermen are at risk. A lot of other Caribbean leaders, if you watch what happened at the United Nations, have addressed this issue. Andrew Holness rather went there with a tirade, tantamount to giving the green light to Trump to carry out his assault in the region. The same Andrew Holness refuses to vote on a Palestine issue. The same Andrew Holness that we're asking to clarify, because we never see if he participated. Did you participate in the walkout against Benjamin Netanyahu? Jamaica, you see, just like how Israel, the people of America, and the people of the United Kingdom, which have supported Israel all this long, are pulling away, while our leader, while our Andrew Holness, no, the people of Jamaica and the people of Israel have no connection. The people of Israel and the people of Jamaica has no connection. We're on the opposite side of history. We are the oppressed. We are the colonized. The Israelis are colonizers. They are oppressors. They're barbaric creatures. How then can our Prime Minister, after we, the generation of the enslaved and the downtrodden in society, Andrew Holness, foster such a relationship with the Israelis? There's no benefit for any relationship with us and the Israelis, barring they have control over Jamaica, just like how they have control over Britain and America. And these are some of the things. These are some of the things that one must wake up to Jamaica. Politics is not local anymore. And that may I try to figure out if I understand. Politics is not local anymore. What happening in one section of the planet affects the other section. Not just that, we have seen where it's us and them. Never before that we have had a group of elite against us as we are. No, because you had the whole of the world leaders them a group up against it, especially when it comes to the whole digital transformation and taking us digitally. The whole of them is gearing up against us, the people. It's about control. We, though, have power. But if we do not understand the power we have, we cannot exercise them. And therefore, we won't be able to protect ourselves against a digital ID, a one world order, another control under a new pandemic. We have seen, we have had the examples, my people. If we were sleeping, COVID should have woke us up. But it didn't for Jamaica, did it? Because during that time, we watched Jamaicans taking the shot for donuts and KFC. We watched our prime minister threatened us. We watched that same prime minister told us it's from God. However, we chose Jamaica and we got him back. And we have to pay him and his friends $700 million per year. That's what we voted for. But remember, I did also ask you the question, if you give Andrew Holness another 5 years, will your child make it through that 5 years? That question was answered within days after the general election for the parents of Jamar Ferguson, has it not? That question was answered in a matter of days when we saw the brutality that was carried out by the Jamaica Constabulary Force under a wall of silence since the obvious came to light. Nobody in public life want to speak about it. Labour and PNP all geared up in front of the camera, in and out of Parliament, on their political campaign last month. They all queued up to send their condolences to the policeman and his family from Montego Bay who was attacked. The wife was killed. I don't remember if the husband and the son did dead too. They all queued up to send their wishes, their condolences. They acknowledged that a Jamaican was killed brutally. How different it is, Andrew Holness and Mark Golden, how different is this situation with Jamar Ferguson and the police officer and his family in Montego Bay? How different? Because you all queued up then. You all queued up then to send your condolences out. So only certain sector of Jamaicans are recognized. Only certain sector of Jamaicans we can sympathize and empathize with when things go wrong. I mean, it's just common human decency given the silence outrage of the nation. Because a lot of Jamaicans are outraged, they're just in fear. A lot of Jamaicans, after we witnessed what happened to Jamar Ferguson, are outraged. They are in fear, though. They know they're far like me where they can chat about it. Them in fear the police are going to target them. Them in fear the backlash are going to come to them if them talk. We can't continue to live in a society, Jamaica, where 23 police say kill. And nobody not dead. He said, no, let's take him in. Let's give him his day in front of the court. That's why I said we need a public inquiry. We want to know the intelligence that the police officers had on Jamar Ferguson. We want to see the intelligence. We want to know what intelligence the Jamaica Constabulary Force was operating on when they murdered Jamar Ferguson. Because now we know they didn't have a warrant. Now we know they didn't have a warrant. So they were not supposed to be at that property. Now we know Jamar's name wasn't on the warrant. So they never got to him. We also know that he came downstairs to the front door, opened the door to the police, and surrendered. We were told the reason why he was killed is because he would have been fired or pulled a gun at the police officers. We need a public inquiry. We need to know what evidence did the police officers go to a lay magistrate with in order to secure an illegal warrant that only says Cherokee Lane. And we want to know if under that warrant, a police officer can walk in, search or raid any property on Cherokee Lane. Jugs, if you don't want me call my golden name, come off of my platform. Because I notice that one is just about politics, one is not about human dignity. If one choose my golden as a leader, and one expect something of this magnitude to happen in our country, and one leader my golden silent pound, if he was the prime minister, this was the same thing we would have got from Mark Golden. A wall of silence with police brutality. You know, sister, we're not a fool. We don't think everything are politics. We don't choose Mark Golden and pay Mark Golden to sit down and shut up. Opposition means say you speak up on the issues that are happening in the country, the issues that are of public concern, the issues that are at the forefront of public discussion. So if you don't want me here, if you don't want me call Mark Golden name, just excuse my platform. Because leadership in this country is not just about Andrew Holness. If you don't have robust leadership in opposition, that's when government take with a tally fair. Me not in the idiotness or the idiotism, we don't normally approach politics with. Me not have the time for it. Me live in a more inclusive world where me see how it is done internationally. When the policeman gets shot a Montego Bay where Mark Golden never come out, come talk. Mark Golden never send him condolences in and out of parliament. Did you not heard him? So what's the difference between a policeman and Jamar Ferguson? Is it not a fucking tragedy? Go on this morning, you hear? Go on this morning. Just like a Paula Llewellyn, me come in peace. But it no means that me won't turn bulldog along the way. So go on in peace this morning. Because whole upon on a picking. Holy upon no have no human conscience. Holy upon just live for politician. No, someone not live for yourself. We not live for a better Jamaica. That's why every 4 years, you stupid fuckers vote pan the road and water promise. We don't want nothing else, you know. We don't want anything else. That's why every 4 years, we vote. Thank you, Synergy. Every 4 years, every 5-year cycle is the same promise we accept. And stupid it is. We still don't get it yet. Every day, we vote for the same thing again. And then you come tell me don't call Mark Golden name. Why did Mark Golden put up himself as the opposition leader for oppose against the government? Why Mark Golden sit down quiet when Mark Golden says, and out of Andrew Wholeness, violence utterance, judge our maker. Out of Horace Chang, violence utterance, shoot first, ask questions after. Jeep back our treacher. You don't see when Mark Golden fi come out and call upon the government to temper down their rhetoric. You don't see when Mark Golden fi come out and call upon the government after what we have witnessed with Jamar Ferguson to review the judge and make a policy tirade that the government is on. It's the job of the opposition to come out and do that. It's the job of the opposition to come out and talk about the 200 and odd young men will get shot down by the JCF. It's the opposition job to come out and ask questions of the government and the security service to provide us evidence that these young men were criminals. What are you talking about? What on earth are you talking about? I don't know half-hearted galang, you know, it's about Jamaica. So no don't come here with the PNP and the JLP politics. Rather Andrew Tiffy or him win it, Andrew Holness remains the Prime Minister for the next 5 years. My job is to hold PNP and Labour to account. Mark Golden, as the opposition leader, is under a duty to question the government, call out the government on this judge or maker policy, call out the government on the violent rhetoric, ask questions of the government, of the money young men that has been murdered by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Drugs, you know, have no sense, you know. So what if they say Mark Golden a defend criminal? The evidence of Jamar Ferguson is questionable. Can you not get that? Drugs? What are you smoking? What on earth are you smoking? The evidence coming out of the Jamar Ferguson situation is enough for the government to question the wanton killing of young men. The rule of law in our country, until a court has pronounced you guilty, you're an innocent person. Thereby, all 200 and odd young men that were shot by the police this year, we view them as innocent. We, their public, has no information supporting the police allegation. And if we are to go by the information coming out of Jamar's case, we can broad brush it to say all or many of them were killed innocently and set up. It's not an unusual scenario. It's the repeated behavior of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Jamar Ferguson is not the first. We've seen the police murdered people who opened the door for them and then turn around and tell us it was a shootout. What you choose opposition for? If you want opposition to sit down in a naughty corner, don't choose them. You choose them to be your guardrail, to take on the government word by word, deeds by deeds, actions by actions. That's what you choose them for. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you're aware that that is the reason why you chose an opposition. That is the reason why you gave more power to the opposition on the 3rd of September. Do you not understand that? So if Mark Golden them to sit down and shut them out with Andrew police brutality, how much are we going to make it through the 5 years? You don't see it so? Well, wait till Andrew kill off all of we before they open their mouth and say, no, this is not law abiding. The government just walk around with them forces and execute people. And government will come out here, come talk bossy like bad man, till him all go upon the United Nations podium with the same fuckery. Wake up, Jamaica people. Wake the hell up. You all have been sleeping for too long. Tiny, good morning. Tiny, Parliament is one place in our country. Tiny, mic and camera, they're everywhere. Mic and camera, they're everywhere, Tiny. Morning, Tiny, morning. Parliament is not the only place where mouth can open, Mic and camera, they're everywhere. The opposition job is not to call out the government just in Parliament. The opposition job, all right, you see like how, let me tell you how Labour play a good opposition. Remember in the run-up to the election campaign, if a fly blow past Mark Golden, Marlon Morgan put out a statement. He come out, he have a press conference. He got Cliff Hughes for interview and all of that. These is what the PNP don't get. Them don't understand that yet, messaging. The PNP don't need to wait until Parliament open to speak on police brutality. We have mic and camera. We have press conference. We have sit down in front of your phone and talk and post it. So we don't have to wait till Parliament open. Because if them are kill we out a road, you mean to say we have to wait till Parliament open for PNP open their mouth? No. Speak at the first available opportunity. That's what representing us mean. That's what being in opposition mean. It's not about doing the job in Parliament. It's about doing the job at all costs necessary, wherever and whenever it is demanded of you. You do the job. Mark Golden should have spoken to us on this issue. Just like them didn't see it necessary when the policeman family was attacked to have a view on it when one of us Jamaicans, who that police officer was as well, and who Jamar Ferguson was as well, is being attacked by criminals because the behavior of those 23 police officers were criminal behavior. Are you saying we should accept that criminality because it's in uniform? I guess we reach. So if you come out and talk to it, keeping your base is making the people know that you care about them. Keeping your base is making the people know that you are listening to them. Keeping your base is making the people know that what concerns them concerns you. And you will be doing something about it. Want to stop support the PNP in the half-hearted opposition. We want a full force because it is why we work. For them did win the election, but them never win. But we work, put them in a very, very decent position. Can't be any more decent. All of us work has put them in a decent position. Not to go there and draw a pillar door. That's not the plan. So we want the PNP to be robust. That was the problem we have with the PNP in the last term of just gone. However, a lot of you, by them grace, say it's because they're never enough. Now we have given them the power to use in and out of Parliament. We're not only looking for their voices to be loud in Parliament. Their voices ought to be loud across Jamaica on the issues that matters most. On the issues that matters most. We can't keep encouraging the two separate Jamaica or the many different Jamaica as it is now. The many different Jamaica. We cannot continue to accept that. We can't. If you see the policeman death as a tragedy, why can't you see Jamar Ferguson death as a tragedy as well? Tell me if that makes sense to you. It don't make sense to me. And that's why I'm very, very disappointed with the PNP. Just like how we're disappointed with them. So the all of them go shake Gillette HOLNESS hand. When Everard Warmington refused to do it, when they could have refused to do it as well. We don't want the half-hearted galanging. We want to be robust. We want to approach the next 5 years in a dog-eat-dog style. As so politics go. We want to approach the next 5 years in a dog-eat-dog style. Not wait until the country is outraged and outraged before the PNP creeps out to address what our outrage. I'm not happy with their performance on this issue. It only takes a mic and a camera to speak. The broader question is why everybody is so silent. Because those who call themselves journalists and broadcasters, who are meant to be questioning the killing of Jamar Ferguson, the activity of the security forces, the dangerous rhetoric of the government. Where are you? Can't push you out of the way, I want to say, oh, you all are just vloggers. No need to listen to you all. You all are just propagandists. So one of them can ask a sensible question them that needed to be asked in these circumstances. Is it not irritating to you that Andrew Holness can continue with the violent rhetoric? And in this issue, Mark Goldham them now come out for call him out on the issue again. It is very relevant to what has happened. Andrew Holness toughness, Oris Chang toughness is a consequence of the police them behavior. Or the police them behavior is a consequences of their tough talking. Do you not view it that way? When they're being told by the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security, the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, is telling them, you don't have to have regard for life. You just make sure you bring us a body. That's what it means. Shoot first and ask question next. Judge or maker. Jeep back or checha. You don't see the danger in that. So just like a whole vlogger can mumble about it every day. And that we elect PNP for mumble about the government brutality every day. When they need a pan campaign, they never tired to repeat the same thing everywhere they go. When PNP did the panic campaign with can go back, go look on everything. Everywhere they go, they repeat the same thing over and over. So if they come out every day and repeat the same thing over and over, to call out the dangers of Andrew Holness rhetoric, do it because Jamaican parents are losing children. Don't you get that? Don't you get that? Me don't know when you will get that. See the one of that woman, let me release her comment. And I hold your comment at TikTok. I like feel when me see when crazy comment them, me release them. Claudette at TikTok did hold your comment. Let's give Claudette some little noise this morning. Claudette says, Drunkro, come off Andrew name. Vloggers looking money. That's why on a chat. So if there was no money. Okay. So RJR Gleaner Group no work for money. Cliff Hughes no work for money. Observer no work for money. IRFM no work. All I was talking and talking pays. I don't know if you understand that talking, it's what lawyers do. It's what politicians do. And you see how well they are being paid? Talking pays. So nobody believes that people if come out and come sit down and talk and earn. Claudette. Nobody thinks that people come out and come sit down and talk and earn. Vloggers are broadcasters too. Vloggers are independent journalists too. It costs us to produce our shows too. We have to buy devices. We have to pay phone and internet bills. We have to buy software to do our graphics. We have to buy software to do our broadcasting. Why the fuck you think we could come out here and make money? If YouTube pay we, why you think we don't earn out of doing a job? Those who become prostitute of the government, Those who become prostitute of the government, who has gone silent pan uno. Those who call themselves journalists and mainstream media, who will watch uno dead and turn a blind eye because them and government are friend. Sometimes I'm sorry for uno mothers, you see, Claudette. And why I'm sorry for uno mothers more? Because a Funa mindset always build the next generation of young minds. And when you have skewed up mindset like yours, bringing up children, this is why we have so much JLP done, you know, Claudette. I mean, if you understand, say, it's because of mindset like yours. Oh, I see. You don't plan to develop, Claudette. You don't plan to elevate, innovate, and develop. You just want turn so. So what you say? Because you're born consider station there, and you don't know you have to stick to the silenceness over there, or you have to stick to the political partisanism over there, or you have to stick to the let's sell them out for a dosh, or let's sell them out to be in bed with politicians. Every mother's in Jamaica son at risk, you know, Claudette. I don't know if you have seen the videos circulating of the murder of Jamar Ferguson. I don't know if you have seen the length the police officers went at to commit the crime. Nor am I aware, if you understand that all 23 officers, including female, lied about it. Nobody tried to stop it, and everybody lied about it. I'm not aware, Claudette. If you are aware that your son or your nephew or your son-in-law or your grandson could be subjected to that very same behavior. As a Jamaican, not just as a Jamaican, as a member of the human community, that concerns me. Me know you may be wrapped up in political partisanship, Claudette. I can search through the rubble to find a pin in the haystack, Claudette. So me now go sit down and hug up brutality in the name of supporting my political party. Me not reach there so yet. Don't think I want to go there either, my dear. But what I would encourage you to do is, when you speak as a woman and a mother, whether you have children or not, look at the circumstances. Look at the circumstances. Look at the facts. You can't come out here and say, I like me I tell upon the Prime Minister, when the Prime Minister, as soon as he get in front of a mic, they must meet their judge or their maker. You don't see any danger in that? Then me can't help you. As much as I would want to try, Claudette, can't help you with that. Really, really can't. Because I think it's clear now, for even the blind Bartimaeus to have recognized that we have a fucking problem. A problem we cannot approach in silence, my dear. So, we have to continue to talk about it. Because when we sit down in a silent, you see, then thing to say, we agree with them behavior. That I don't want them to walk away with, especially when it comes to me. I love to protest. I love to air my disagreements. Me no claffy, and me no quasho, me no falabaka, me no dunk on me knee like a Andrew Holness. Me no have my hands stretched out like Andrew Holness. So me can criticize people in high places with high position. Ask Andrew Holness why he's not criticizing Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. That's what should be your concern. Ask Andrew Holness if it's the spy software Pegasus where the Israeli get to all sort of government. Cause Andrew Holness, you don't have to go on like, I know you want I use Pegasus, you know. A lot of Western government, a lot of African government accept the Pegasus software from Israel because they want to spy upon we. Me don't know if Mossad have anything upon Andrew Holness. Why Andrew Holness alone a foster relationship with Israel, and Andrew Holness knows that the Jamaica people don't want to foster a relationship with Israel. I don't know. Maybe though, Claudette. You could ask Andrew Holness, why Andrew? Why? Claudette, by any chance, we don't know if we're going to hear today. You know, our in the 4 investigative report, I like how me not fi call Andrew name. Maybe you can tell me. Do you know who those investigation report that are to be tabled in Parliament is about? I wonder if anybody will have to step down from Andrew Holness' cabinet when these reports are being tabled. Just asking Claudette, you might know. Or you can go over Cliff, go ask Cliff Fiwick. Cliff normally get a heads up from what in the report. You can walk through this world with your eyes closed, my dear. You can walk, Claudette, through this world with a closed eye and a closed mind. Because when you see things through a political lens and not through the people's lens, then you're walking through society with a closed mind and a closed eyes. Me nah go walk. This is why most of the Jamaican walk and buck up in a world event, you know, or even the events in our country. We walk and buck up in them because we're walking around with closed eyes and closed minds. Wake up, Jamaica. The world is transitioning. Power is shifting and changing. We must position ourselves to be on our feet. Not what we saw the Prime Minister went to the United Nations, talking tough, stretching out his hands, begging money, and down on his knees, refusing to criticize Israel and vote against Israel. That should concern you in a transitioning world. A world where you see Andrew Holness deal with Canada when a lot of the American, a lot of the Caribbean country them a cut deal with Africa. Andrew Holness a cut deal with. Remember Andrew Holness sell Batty to Canada already? Remember Andrew Holness he take the money to teach Batty in a school from Canada, you know. And not just USAID alone, Andrew take Batty loan pan. So no have it that way there. Andrew Holness, I make deal with Mark Carney. Then Claudette, if you have that experience to with police already, where police killed one of your niece, son, and you see the evidence coming out of the Jamar's situation, and you see and hear every day how Andrew talk tough, Judge Armaker, how Harris Chang talk tough, and you tell me, say, nothing call Andrew Holness name? Hmm? Me not left nothing to God, man. This is what black people failure are. We keep lifting things to God. And God comfortable getting on with his life. While every day we get up and expect God to come fight me. Now wait for God fight a battle for me. Hmm? The song that they said, if I hold my peace and let the Lord fight the battle, victory will be mine, was a fucking lie. Hmm? Was a lie. If I hold my peace, said the song, and let the Lord fight the battle, victory will be mine. Take it from me this morning. That is a lie. A lie, a lie, a lie. Get up and fight for yourself. Look at other countries around the world. Them fight for themselves. The young people of Kenya never wait upon God. They can roll back the bill where Ruto they impose upon them. Abraham Traore never wait upon God to take control of Burkina Faso. White people never wait upon God. They enslave and stole from the whole world to get to where they are. Even when they were given God in their image to the world. We now wait upon God to fight a battle for me. God have his battle to fight. Hmm? God still have his battle them to fight. Because Satan still a roam about if something goes off it true. Not my word, me just say if it goes off it true, Satan still a roam about. So God have him battle them to fight. So may I beg black people, stop talk about the God galanging every minute and get up and do something for yourself. Have you not have enough evidence that God had do for him own thing? That's why we were in slavery for so much years. That's why we have been oppressed continuously. Because we're still waiting, we're holding our peace and waiting on God to fight the battle. Hmm? When you can't come out of the dream, wake up. Wake up and come out of the dream. Hmm? Somebody need to throw cold water upon you. We're not dream for too long now. Somebody needs to throw cold water at the wall. Not dream for too long now, Jamaica. Hmm? Even when the world has changed, we're not ready to understand the system where we are and where we're. Look, a couple weeks ago, we just sell vote for $5,000 Jamaican dollars, a box food and couple drinks money. Money where you can't go to supermarket with, corner shop money. Wake up. Wake up and stop the nonsense about leaving things to God. Leaving things to God, they're going to kill all of us. Hmm? If we wait on God to avenge our killers, by the time God get round to avenge them, all of we will be done. So now just wake up. Hmm? Just wake up. Me in the mood for answer on this morning. EMR Digital. What's the correlation between Mark Golden, between the opposition leader and slavery? If there is any, EMR Digital, let me answer on nice this morning. It's the same that we have with the royal household of Bumbleclot Britain, which is our monarch, the king that we swear to, the pedophile king that we say, God bless the king, the house of from Tudors to the come down to the Windsors, the Mountbatten come down to the Windsors, they who sanctioned slavery. I think you're all stupid to keep asking that question. When it's still about King Charles, when it's still a concern about Mark Golden, why don't fucking get rid of Charles first, sir, ma'am, or whoever you may be? Why don't get rid of King Charles first? You cannot be going after Mark Golden and not continue lap up King Charles. Won't ever hear go so? Sir or ma'am, oh not go lap up King Charles, but still not go after Mark. It don't make sense. You have to get rid of Charles first. The royal household, the monarch, was the one who sanctioned slavery. They benefited from it. They continue to benefit from it. Don't you see that of a more concern than the opposition leader, who we know worked his wealth honestly in Jamaica? Unlike Prince Charles, the pedophile king, who you bow to at the moment, was handed stolen wealth, you stupid motherfucker. There's only stupid people, EMR Digital, that would come to my platform and ask such a question. Only the stupid. I mean, that's not a question for sensible people, is it? People who've been to school and read and understand and is able to comprehend and think critically wouldn't ask that question, would they? Go on, Yasa. Go on this morning. Before I go ham the hump on your backside, you go on, sun look nice out the door, about 21 degree out there today. But when you feel let go of my golden color, let go. Let go. You can't have your head all the way up Charles' backside. And then when you manage to pull your head out, the only thing you see is Mark Golden's face. Like, seriously? Where you there? EMR Digital. Where are you? The only time, anytime when you pull out on a face, out of King Charles' backside, the only thing you can see is Mark Golden's face. Ono don't get it. Ono will never get it. Try to get away from the royal family before you focus on Mark Golden will work on earning wealth in Jamaica. Before you focus on Mark Golden family line will come assist the people of Jamaica, even in their critical treatment by Britain. That's all you can see. Andrew Holness never worked a day in our country. Andrew Holness has never worked a day in our country. Andrew Holness almost richer than Leachin right here now. Andrew Holness almost richer than Leachin right now. Andrew Holness have never worked a day in our country. We know Mark Golden to be a businessman and an attorney. We know Mark Golden to come to politics rich. Mark Golden never come home in student loan and then walked away rich. Those are the things that should concern you more than Mark Gold in color and heritage. Maybe you need to go and speak to the white Homer Davis, who is refusing to accept that he lost to a black woman. Maybe you should go and speak to the white Ann Vaz, who is going mental because she lost to a Rasta man. When you no shame, when you not talk about Mark Gold in color, given that half of the Jamaica Labour Party has always and still remain white, does it really make sense? Labor rights, good God Almighty now. Look how much people of the Labour Right Party are descendant of the slave, of the slave masters. When since do these people become black? When since do these people have an African heritage? Some of them is not even like Mark Golden, where date in the black community, married into the black community. They still remain white to this day. If you notice, don't know if your eyes are open. So when you come here and I ask about Mark Golden, careful who the fuck gonna ask stupid question. Come here with answer on. I'm gonna know so you're fucking fool. You're an idiot. You ought to go back to school. Anyway, me gone. Me go be and go in a sun, you know. Me go bathe and go into sun, you know, because sometimes on a stupidity can get me annoyed, but it is good to answer stupid questions because you might never know. They might just learn during your answer. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on Global TV. If you are here for the first time, please give us a follow so when we go live. Morning, Michael Allen. You turn up late. We don't have time to respond to you, Michael Allen. You may have to follow the live and come back another time, isn't it? You turn up late, Michael Allen. If you come for an answer this morning, you, Mr. Allen, is going to have to come back another morning. Do give us a follow if you're new to the program. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on Global TV. Lovely to have your support as always. And please do join us back this evening for the people's point of view. And don't forget to continue the debate in the conversation. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV. Oops.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it pick a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite man, Ooh, wicked men are red. How they want to see. They didn't can sell out Rasta. Can't sell it out. I sell out Babylon. Big man show and stone. And they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man show and stone. And they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see. They didn't can sell out Rasta. I sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. You must show and stone. And they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, show and stone. And they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man show and stone. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man show and stone. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man show and stone. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.